Did it work? I am frozen. No heart attack. Yeah. I think I turned it off and on again. I turned it off and on again. Like, did you try turning it off and on again? Of course I did. Of course. That's like what I do. This is the only... I'm terrible. I'm terrible at any kind of like... At any like software. Most of the time, I can't fix shit. Like, my friend Chris, who's also known as Head First Only, and he has a Twitch channel too, by the way. You should go check him out. He streams on Thursday nights. He calls himself an app whisperer. And I guess he's just really, really, really good at at figuring all that stuff out. I am not. Oop, did I crash again? Okay. Can you send me something via chat to let me know you're alive? Or that I'm alive? If it's not working, I'm going to try one more time. Well, let me know. Oh, I am live. Oh, thank God. Oh, shit. All right. Coolsies. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. It is a Wednesday, which is like... this is always the toughest time. I feel like Monday you're like, okay, I'm kind of like ready to rock, because it's like I just had like, you know, like a nice weekend. I did nothing except like, you know, eat and watch TV. And oh God, did I freeze again? Oh no. Okay. Anyway, so my friend Chris, who's also known as Head First Only, he's like really good with programs. I mean, he's really good. He calls himself an app whisperer, which is just like a fancy name for saying I know how to figure out how to like how to work this program or whatever. And I am the very opposite of that. I'm like, I come at any kind of software with like already like a disadvantage, a handicap, whatever you want to call it. It's crap. I suck at it. I suck. I mean, like, it took me a long time to figure out how to learn Ableton Live, and it's like, Jesus. It takes me a long time to learn software, period. But I did find this out this week. Oh, hey, you're here, Melinda. Melinda. Okay, she's here. She says, "Ah, there you are. I am here, too. Yes. Ah. So I fixed an old hand pump. Hello. Hi. Gunner Zero Recall says, hell yeah. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm not very good at software, but I can fix old water pumps. I can fix toilets. I'm fairly good at fixing toilets. And any kind of like plumbing issues. But software, terrible at it. Terrible. This is why I have friends and people who are better at this than I am. Anyway, so it's really nice to see you guys here. Thanks for coming to this little thing. As you see, I'm wearing this is the dress for today. So every stream from now on, basically since I started, every stream during every stream I wear a pink dress. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I was supposed to go on a tour in July, like right now. I was supposed to be in the States doing my thing with my friend Alpha Riff, who is also on Twitch, by the way. And he's on tonight and he's gaming. And people have been enjoying Gunner Zero Recall says, people have been enjoying your music on my channel, by the way. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's good. I'm glad they're not like hating me or like sending me terrible messages like, you suck, you're terrible, and I hope you stop making music so my ears can stop suffering. It's like, okay. Oh, thank you. So yeah. So I was supposed to be on a tour. Gunner Zero Recall says Alpha highly recommends you to everyone. That's really sweet. Really? Oh, that's really sweet. Oh. That's my friend Warren. Okay. Anyway, I was supposed to be on tour in the States. Today I was supposed to be in Denver, Colorado. And that didn't happen, obviously, with the way the world is. And so I have a handful of dresses that are pink that I was going to wear on stage with some like crazy ass shoes that look like swans and some other things. I have lots of weird shoes and weird dresses, and they're, lots of fun things. And unfortunately, because I couldn't go on the tour, I'm like, what do I do with all these dresses? Because I feel bad. They're like unworn, They're just sitting in my closet like going, hey girl, are we going to get to go out? And I'm like, no, I can't wear you to the grocery store. You're too fluffy. So I'm wearing them here. And yeah, so you're just going to, basically I'm going to go through every pink dress I own. I'm going to give you a lovely photo shoot. And then with a cool photo where I look much prettier than I do in real life. And then I'm going to like wear it on stream just so just so you know on Twitch, like I'm not as lovely as I am in the photos. Like the photos much better. In real life. Okay. I'm just joking. So I'm wearing these clip-on bangs. They're clip-ins. They're clip-in bangs. Did you know they made these things? These Array of Emotion says, oh, I don't know about that. And it's like, oh, you have to say that. Okay. So these are clip-in bangs. These aren't my real bangs. These are fake. These are fakeity fake. And because I cut my bangs before and I liked them, but I only like bangs / fringe / whatever you want to call them. In Dutch, it's called a pony, which is kind of weird because it's like a pony. Yeah, I know. So I cut them before and I liked them for about 2 weeks. And then after the 2 weeks, and I know that every Belinda Noirjar says you always look very adorable. That's so sweet. I feel like a complete arse most of the time, and that I have a really like which my my friends in my musical group, as in like where I do like the Brussels Light Opera company, basically. They said that I have a very expressive face, and I wasn't as aware of that as I was. I wasn't really aware of that until about like November last year, and then they're like, "Hey, you have a really expressive face. You're really good at acting," and I'm like, I'm not acting. This is just my face." So enjoy. Oh god. Anyway, fake hair, and it's I don't know. Can you tell? It's like in a giant bun thing. I put like a little donut thing to make it look like I have. I don't know. It's supposed to look stylish and kind of retro, and I don't know if it's working, but shit, I'm gonna try for you. I'll try. I had some fake lashes on earlier. For the photo shoot, because I thought, hey, why don't I wear some fake lashes? That'll look pretty fly, right? But I took them out because they were poking me in my eyes. And if it's like, for any of you who have ever worn fake lashes, and really, you know what it's like, for those who haven't worn fake lashes, it's like somebody taking like just just a slight irritating thing and just like kind of tick tick tick, you like just pressing it in your eye just a little bit, just so that you hurt a little, but not so much that you tear up and cry. It's just enough so that it annoys you, and it's like, thank you. So every time you blink, it's like, ow, Ow. Okay, fuck, I'm taking these off. That's it. And so that's why you don't get the fake lashes tonight, because those things were like unbearable and like, yeah. Anyway, let me know how you guys are doing. How are you all doing? Now that I'm not completely crashed or dead or, yeah, you can see me. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. I hope the world is treating you well. I hope you're having a good week so far. This is the middle of the week. And man, Thursday and Friday, you'll just sail right through that into the weekend. I'm hoping. Gunner Zero Recall says, work is kicking my ass. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's no good. I mean, like in a good way? Like it's kicking my ass, but I'm motivated. Or it's kicking my ass and I'm depressed. Is it motivated or depressed? Probably like a mix of both. I don't know. Ooh, Headfirst Only says, I wish. Focusrite is crapping out on me. Ableton crashes every freaking time I load a new set. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Headfirst Only. I am so sorry. Can you tell Focusrite to just get it together? Get it together. Noirshire says, awesome, you are making dialysis better. I am happy to make dialysis better. I am happy to help in any way I can. I can't give you a kidney because I'm really far away, but if I can make dialysis better, yeah. Oh, and Gunner's here. Recall says, I guess more motivated. Just long 12-hour shifts are killer. 12-hour shifts? Oh, geez. Am I on again? Please say it's working. I don't know why this is happening. I don't even have anything else running. Let me check. Is it working? Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Why does it suck? I am back. Oh, jeez. I am so sorry. Hi, Cappy Wigber. Oh, how you doing, girl? Anyway, so now, Headfirst Only says that was really weird. Mel came back, but it was a loop from about 5 minutes ago. You're back. Thank you. I am back. So I'm going to try to smash all this cut up footage together later. Oh, I meant to do that. No. Okay. Sure. I'm back. So I guess tonight, I will be sharing more, of Metropolis stuff with you because, Gunner Zero Recall says, and we back. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So if you don't know yet, I am scoring Metropolis. I decided at the beginning of quarantine / lockdown / whatever you want to call it, that I was going to score Metropolis. Why? Because I wanted to teach myself scoring because I'd never done it before. And I figured, hey, why don't I teach myself? And then I found out it's much harder than I ever thought it would be. But I'm enjoying it, but it's also a lot of work. Because to do it well, I think you have to do a nice continuous sort of piece of music. You can't really, you can stop and start some things, but you can't leave a lot of silence there just hanging because it's a silent film. And if you leave silence in silent films where there's absolutely no sound, no background sound, there's nobody breathing, there's no wind blowing, nothing. If you leave a bunch of silence, then it just sounds like you made a mistake. And I don't want to do that. I wanted to have something to keep going, even if it's just really slight. It's better than just the silent spot. And Silenception. Array of Emotion says Silenception. Yeah, silence within silence. Oh my God. Baby? Maybe? No, that's a terrible joke. Please don't make that joke again. Shit. All right. So, I guess, yeah. So, that's what Gunner Zero Recall says, yeah, I'll be in and out, by the way. I'm trying to finish up and get a few things done before I'm off of work. Got one more hour. This hospital has been crazy today. I'm so sorry. It's been crazy. I mean, it's good on you for doing like a 12-hour shift and kicking ass and just giving it. I mean, good on you. And if you can get out of there, by all means do. I mean, if it has been a crazy day, which like I have no doubt it has been a crazy day, man, you just need a rest. I feel like not enough people rest and take time for themselves to sleep and recover. And I feel like, you know, the world is like just grinding away. And yeah, just yeah. And you still got to stream tonight. Yeah. So just, I don't know, try to have a short nap. I don't know. I'm sorry. All right. So last week, we had stopped at the part where Georgie is the character who was the worker that Frieder, the main character, he replaced him. And it's like, ooh, 9 point. Guppy Wigber says, bravo, at Gunner Zero Call. I thought my 9.5 hours were long. Lol. Yeah, 9.5 hours is actually long. So that's still long. And good on you guys for working so hard. Like, that's discipline. And yeah, well done. Well done. Okay. All right. So last time we were at the part where like Georgie drives off. And he's like, and Frieder's like, yeah, go to my house. Here's like a little, it's a Ouija B stream tonight. Head First Only says, it is. Ah! Yeah, boy. Awesome. Nerds. I love nerds. Oh my God. Anyway, hold on. I'm going to try to switch over to the scene, the default scene, which is like basically like the movie thing. And if I freeze or if I make it, just let me know, okay? If I don't make it, let me know. All right? 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna go. Boom. Is it okay? Can you see this? If you cannot see this, if I have frozen, I will restart yet again. Okay. All right. We're good. Yay. Good. Okay. All right. So last time it was the worker, Georgie. He was supposed to go to the house, to Frieder's house, because Frieder's like, yeah, go to my house, because like my pal Yosafat is staying at my place, and yeah, just go to my house. It's a safe place. It's a safe haven. And so the guy, you know, Georgie, he gets in the car. He's wearing like Frieder's clothes, and he's in the car, and he's like, yeah, I guess I'll go. And then he gets all these flyers. All these flyers come in from this place called Yoshiwara. And Yoshiwara is basically like this club. It's like a nightclub. And it has like all the naughty, dirty things. All the things. You want some bad shit? You want like sexy dancing or whatever? Yeah, that's where we go. That's where we go. It's sort of like, yeah, it's not a strip club. It's like the club for all your vices. And basically last week, Guppy Wigber and Head First Only translated the little the flyer that I got from the flyer from Yoshiwara, which it has like a quote from Oscar Wilde that basically says like, hey, you know, to like beat your vices, you have to indulge your vices, which doesn't quite make sense, because I think that's just like what you say if you just like, I want to be like naughty, and that's the kind of thing you say. So anyway, the guy, instead of going to Frieder's apartment or Frieder's flat, or whatever you want to call it, he decides to go to Yoshiwara because he's like, I'm gonna like do bad things. And it's like, ooh, he's tempted. And there was a lady passing by, and she was like gorgeous, and she's like, you know, she's like, hey, sailor, you know, kind of thing. So now we find ourselves like at this point where the where the character is like, where we see another introduction of characters, because you haven't gotten all the characters yet. You haven't. And so far we've seen Jo Friederson, we've seen Frieder, his son, we've seen Maria, like that, the lovely lady who Frieder fell in love with. We've seen like a bunch of people, but we haven't seen our main like bad guy, our main villain, our main like antagonist guy. Like there's always got to be like one bad guy, right? And this is it. So I'm going to play this for you, because this is basically the introduction of Rotwang. His name is spelled Rotwang, like Rotwang, but I don't think that's how you say it. I think it's like Rotwang or something like that. So this is where we get to see this character for the first time. And also remember that I make themes for every character. So every character has like their own little sort of motif and their own like the instruments that they get to, that they're associated with, that kind of give off that same emotion as that character. So I'm gonna play for you. Let me know if there are any issues, and also have fun. I'll play the first section for you, okay? Okay. All right. So that was the introduction of Rotfang. And Rotfang is like, he's like this like really genius mad sort of scientist guy. He's the mad scientist character. And oh, by the way, Mortar said kind of like the old Peter and the Wolf, where every character had a different instrument. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I gave everybody their sort of like their kind of instrument that I felt like matched their spirit, or rather like their emotional state. So this one, Array of Emotion says dark but also sad. Yes. This to me is one of, I don't know, for some reason it's like it really hit me hard, this scene. And part of it is because it's like you've got this character and he's like, yeah, he seems like he's a crazy nut. I mean, like, look at him. He's got like he's got a robot hand, by the way. If you're wondering, like, what do you mean he's got he's got a robot hand. He basically, he's just like, dude, this guy's kind of nuts, all right? He's kind of nuts, but like, you know, but he's also a genius. And he's probably like one of the smartest characters in this whole film. He's definitely respected for being, the Headfirst Only says this movie is all about the hand gestures. Yes. Why? It's because they couldn't. It was not a talkie film, so you have to do hand gestures. I mean, like, hand gestures, they convey a lot about our emotions, about what we're trying to get across. We're trying to say something with a lot of emotion, and we will use our hands to convey that because we cannot use our voices. And so that's this whole thing. Like, silent films, they really have a lot of like, there's a lot of exaggerated body language, like gesticulations, and it's just because there's, you know, you can kind of film a character that's shouting, but it'll just sort of look a little funny. But if the character is like making a lot of motions, then it's like, okay, this character is shouting and he is upset. And so one of the great things about this film is that even though you may not speak, like okay, right now the little subtitles and everything, they're like translated into English. You know, even if they weren't translated into English, you could kind of, you know, pick it up. It doesn't, you know, you'll understand these characters even without understanding maybe the title cards, because they're really exaggerating. They're really pantomiming. Everything is just like it's like, in real life, if somebody did that, okay, you would just be like, hey, that's a little nutty, right? But in a silent film, makes sense. It completely makes sense. And because it's based on motions rather than just language, it can transcend the language. And if you only speak Spanish, if you only speak something else, you'll still understand what they're feeling. You'll still understand the emotion behind a certain character. And so we have this like mad scientist character, and he's just like, he's making plans within plans. And he's okay, and I need to like show this to you because, all right, hold on. This is the house he lives in. Do you see this house? This style of house. It's not even like what we've seen so far. We've seen modern. We've seen concrete. We've seen basically what they consider the future. Tall buildings. Big, you know, geometrically like, you know, symmetrical buildings. And then you've got this house. And this house is not modern looking. It's very, very old-fashioned looking. How do I know this? Well, because I live in a really old-fashioned house. And when I said that bit about the water pump thing earlier, like I know how to fix an old water pump, I actually do. Because I did it. I fixed a water pump. Yeah. So I live in an old house. And Array of Emotion says, I didn't catch that before. Yeah, you didn't. It's one of those, again, this is one of the films like you can re-watch it and you can see a lot more than you did before. And don't worry, you might not catch like every single thing on the first viewing, but if you have music that keeps you engaged with the film, then you will catch more things. And part of the reason, again, why I'm doing this is so that the viewer can see all the things that I see and can understand, like, look, like here's a it's like a to hold up the structure of of like things that are a bit higher, and there's like construction stuff, but right here, this is like it's an old house with an old door. It's just old fashioned completely, and it's like sort of sandwiched between these like giant buildings and like big supporting beams and stuff. Marshall says Art Deco. I love Art Deco. I love Art Deco. I am so in love with Art Deco. Art Deco and I feel like, man, when I first saw Art Deco design, it was just like, oh, yeah. So Noirshire says, yeah, music brings out the best on a scene. Yes. So if you have music that it's like, it feels like it's not too old and it's not too new. It's just, it's a use of, I used a lot of like the same sort of orchestral instruments, but I also included some synths in there. So this whole thing, like this whole scene, is to introduce this character, and it's also to show just how freaking weird he is. Like here lives Rotwang, the inventor. And like here he is. He's got his funny hand. He's got like a right robot hand. Bad music. Oh, Guppy Wigber says bad music definitely brings out the worst. Oh my god, yeah. Bad music makes you not want to watch. Bad music is like, hey, you know what you should do? You should turn me off. Yeah. Stop watching. Okay, so Yo Friederson or Joe. Some people will say Joe. I say Yo. I'll say Yo because that seems right, but I don't know. So this is Yo Friederson, and he's standing in front of a curtain. He decides to pull out pull the curtain and looks upon this. No, wait, hold on. Did I miss the part? Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to find, in the middle of Metropolis, this strange house. Hold on. I'm trying to find the weird guy. There's a weird guy. And where are you? Where are you, weird guy? Yeah, the weird guy. Okay, all right. Dude, I want you to notice the strangeness of this. Okay, that guy. All right, this is the guy who is basically, Norshay says, no kidding, but I love what you've done. Thank you. I'm trying to teach myself. All right, so look at this guy. Does this guy he doesn't look like a child. He doesn't quite look like an adult. He looks like a small person. And this is somebody who would have been considered strange back then. So it lends and now it's like, yeah, little person, okay, whatevs. But it's very clear that this person is not like, he's not like Frieder. He's not like a big strong guy. He looks a little funny. And I think having this character as a kind of assistant, as a kind of like someone who takes care of stuff, opens the door and lets in Yo Friederson or whatever, and announces who's come. Having somebody like that as part of the scene is showing us just how unusual. Hey, Sean Solo's here. Aw, heck. Having a character like that, oh my god, I burped, sorry, it's supposed to show the strangeness. It's supposed to give you that slightly eerie, sort of like, I'm a little unnerved feeling, because this character, he looks strange. He looks strange, and he works for a guy who is also strange. So he's strange, and his helper is strange. And it's like, oh, loving the hair / cat ears combo today, says Sean Solo. Thank you. I'm trying to be more fashionable. I'm trying to be more fashionable. It's not. I don't know if it's working. I don't know. I just try to bring fashion to that nerd core. What? Okay. So here you've got this character. You guys, okay. Okay. See, I'm sorry, you guys can't, like, I know that whoever watches this video later, you won't be able to see the chat, but it's kind of funny, and I'm just gonna try to not laugh too loudly. All right, so we've got this character, and we've got Gunner Zero Recall says, "Don't you use my emote against me." Stop. Okay. We've got the character, again, introducing strangeness, the feeling of strangeness to a scene. We've got him, and he's already looking strange. Okay, look at the way he's dressed. He's dressed... These people, they're dressed funny. They're dressed in a quite old way. If you look at Yo Friedersen's dressed in like a suit. He looks pretty, like, posh. And these guys, this guy looks like he's, like, going to... like put on a jester hat and like dance around for you or something. He looks weird. He's wearing something that's like a weird tunic kind of thing with a belt. I mean, leggings or something. And it's supposed to show you, you're supposed to notice just how weird these people are. So this is Yo Friedersen, and he's basically head honcho. He is the guy who is in the Tower of Babel. He's controlling stuff. He's the main gangsta, I swear. He's like the big guy. He's the guy in charge. And he's in Rotwang's home, and he's pulling on a little thing to open a curtain. And what you're seeing here is a kind of like a monument to this woman named Hel, Hel. And she's like, ooh, spicy. Hello. Hello, TPK Ronin. And he's just looking at the statue because he's like, because she was his wife. Exactly. At first only says Hel was Vrotfang's wife. Well, rather, Hel was Yo's wife, and Yo stole her from Rotwang. So I guess she was with Rotwang first. And then like she married Yo though. Because she's like, and look at his face. Look at this. This is the first time you see Yo Friedersen looking like he's actually sad. Like he has a heart. Because before he was like, whatever, we're going to fire a guy. Whatever, we're going to, kill that guy. Whatever, we're going to follow my son. Whatever, I'm reading Menage a Trois in my like chat, and I'm like, oh my, this is getting spicy. So you see him, and he's actually sad. And he actually, it's like, this is the one, excuse me. This is the one thing that really gets to him. It's the loss, and it's the loss that he feels. It's the grief. If you've ever had anyone close to you die, and it was just, it feels overwhelming, and looking at a photo of that person is like, it's almost like wounding you every time. This is what that statue, that whole monument to Hel was. So what this says, I don't know if it was big enough for you guys to read, but it says, here it says, geboren mir zum Glück, allen Menschen zum Segen, verloren an Jo Friedersen, gestorben, als sie Frieder Jo Friedersens Sohn das Leben schenkte. I can't. I'm shit. I'm shit at German. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Basically, it says, born for my happiness and mankind's blessing. Yeah. And then it says, lost to Jo Friedersen. So lost, as in like, Rotwang lost her because Yo kind of took her away. But basically, like, I mean, like, between you and me, I mean, I think Yo is way cuter than Rotfang. I mean, Rotfang's hair is like, what? So I'm like, girl, I don't blame you for going on to the other side. It's okay. It's okay. I know he was like his bestie, but girl, you gotta do what you gotta do. And so it says lost to Jo Friedersen and died giving birth to Frieder, Jo Friedersen's son. So basically, this is a way of introducing a character who's obviously passed away. This is the character Hel, who was Jo Friedersen's wife, who basically died at childbirth, like giving birth to Frieder. So she died while giving birth, and that's why that's why he's so sad. You see, Yo is like super like you feel his pain, and I think it's important for you to see that. I think as far as just in this movie, it's important for you to see how much he's grieving still, how much he hurts, because even though Frieder's like grown, he's a grown ass man now. I mean, so that makes it like that means that Hel died like ages ago, but still it hurts him, and it's that kink in the armor. It's you finally get to see what is it what's his weakness. I mean, it's kind of nice to show a character like this without having like a real like a flashback or anything. This was their kind of like their flashback. So anyway, goes on. And look, he's grieving for her. He's sad. And then Rotwang sees him, and he's like, what the fuck? Why are you looking at my shit? And Head First only says, the bottom might translate better as, gave her life giving birth to Frieder, Jo Friedersen's son. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I'm just like reading the fucking like translation. So basically, this is like Rotwang's little secret place. This is his like tribute to her, and it's a big one too. It's a big tribute. You can see he totally either he really loved her, he really loved Hel, or he was like super obsessed. Either way, he built a big ass thing to like honor her, and it was his own little private thing. And so now when you see his face, and he's like, ooh, he's angry, and he's like, what are you doing here? Get out, this is mine. Yeah. Okay, that's a terrible accent. Yeah, so he closes the curtain. He's like, making gesticulations. It's all about the hand movements. Look at those hand movements. So much. And he's like, a brain like yours, Rotfang, should be able to forget. That's what Jo Friedersen's saying to him. And he's like, yeah, you should be able to forget because you've got such a great brain, a magnificent brain, you genius, you stunning genius. And of course, he's just like, no. Look, he's just enraged. Look at that rage in him. So he says, only once in my life did I forget anything. That Hel was a woman, and you, a man. So some shady shit happened. Basically, she is a woman, he is a man, and yeah, it's kind of like a weird Avril Lavigne song, but yeah, they and clearly they hooked up and got married and had a baby, and then she died. And that's the worst synopsis. I'm so sorry. But look at him. Like, look. This look that Yo's given us. Dude, he's ashamed. He's like, I'm sorry. I knew she was yours, but I took her anyway. And it's not like she was a possession, but I mean, it's not like he was like, oh, but you're my friend's girl and I can't be with you. And he wasn't like saying no. He wasn't saying no. So he's like, I'm ashamed. Look at that. So he's like, Oh, Noirshire says forlorn. Yes, exactly. Yes, very good. That's a good word. I should remember that. So it said, "Let the dead rest in peace, Rotwang. For you, as for me, she is dead." And it's like, he's like, "Oh no, motherfucker, she's not dead. For me, she is not dead, yo Friederson. For me, she lives." And it's like, and he's not just this is him showing off his robot hand. It's like a glove, but with like ribbed for her pleasure or something. It's kind of weird, but it's like he's just like, yeah, it's a robot hand. He's like, do you think that losing a hand is too high a price to pay for recreating hell? And of course, now you're like, what? Because how did he lose a hand making a statue? No, he's not talking about a statue. He's talking about other shit. So he's like, he gets a little smile on his face and he's like, do you want to see her? Noirshire says, very Frankenstein, yeah. Frankenstein. I don't know. How do you say that in German accent? So basically, it's like, you can see that these two guys are they both mourn and grieve for this woman who was just like basically like gold standard woman, you know. Clearly she was beautiful, and you know, maybe she wasn't the most loyal individual, I don't know, but clearly she was like gold standard for them. And they have a kind of a rivalry, but I mean, obviously Yo kind of won because he was like cuter and had more money, and you know, I guess he was less crazy. I don't. So okay, so this whole thing, it's hold on, I'll play this for you. And again, I'm using like a lot of the same instruments again. For this, it's like a, you know, I throw in timpanis, I throw in all the clarinets and stuff. But basically, what I want you to do is this is the theme. Hold on. So the reason why I thanks. Oh, thank you. Okay. Headfirst only says, but F had a really cool Frankenstein, literally French stone. Rotwang translates to rosy cheeks. Yes, or red cheek. Yeah, red cheek. Yeah. So, it's very mournful. Headfirst only says very mournful. It is. It's the reason why I use like woodwinds and stuff like that is woodwinds, they come across as like really pure and innocent. And I'm sure that I'm reading the chat, damn it. Okay, I'm sure that like something that is love, real love, it's so pure. And for all his faults, this character Yo, for all his faults, it's like he still had that, you know, that painful spot, that soft spot, that wound that will not heal. He still has it for her. And you will find this theme later on. This theme, again, you'll find all the themes for each character will sort of make their way back again. And you'll get versions of these themes sometimes in like different instruments, but it's to sort of get to let the viewer know that even if they're looking away from the TV or whatever they're watching it on, even though they're looking away, it's still, this is the character that's on right now. This is supposed to be like, you'll know which characters are on just based on the themes. So this theme is kind of, it's just like sort of it's a kind of like, I don't know, it's like Yo Friederson and Rotwang together, kind of sad and angry at the same time. So anyway, okay. All right, so basically I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna read this stuff. Basically, Headford says, my in-laws were German. I've forgotten most of it. Yeah, I don't, yeah, show off. That's so great. Yeah, it's okay. Cool. German. Guppy Wigber says, I guess you ought to be as you're in the WGB. Lol. Yeah, it's like, and Norjai says, now I need to see this, but I want your music with it. Yeah, you know what? As soon as I finish this, I will put it all together. But it's a lot of, to be really fair, it's an awful lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I love doing it, but it's actually like, it takes a bit of time. And even though it's like, well, you only played like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's like, I know, but it's not like it's a lot. It takes a lot because you have to follow the actions of the characters. You have to be able to get the emotions right, and the pacing for this too. So, all right. So basically, here, I'm just gonna start playing it, and I'll play the next section for you because it's you get to really see what Rotwang was talking about when he was like, is losing a hand, it's like, it's not a high price to pay. And you're like, what? How did you lose that hand? Oh, Norjai says, oh, I know, sorry, no pressure. Yeah, right, it's okay, don't worry. I will keep you in the loop. I will make sure you get the full thing once I'm done. Hopefully I finish it by the end of the year. My fingers are crossed. I'm gonna try. All right, so I'm just gonna start playing it from this area. Okay, we're going to the next scene. Woo! Yeah. Thanks, head first only. Oh, it's getting serious. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So it wasn't, if you look at the how fast the plot moves, it moves like pretty quickly. So I'm reading like oh, okay. All right. So funny comments during while I was playing this. At first only says C3PO's granny, and I'm like, not wrong. Okay. And says note Rotfang's point of view in that shot as he points at Yo. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go over this shit with you because it's kind of amazing, and there are lots of things that I'd like to point out. Gunner Zero Recall says freedom. I think that maybe your shift is over. Yeah. Or that you are going to recreate that scene with Braveheart. No. Okay. W. Wigber says, actually, when he did Maria, he took much shorter than 24 hours. Yeah. All right. So I don't think anyone had ever done point of view shots like that before. Yes to both. Okay. All right. So basically, the whole thing, oh, he lost a hand. What are you talking about? And he's like, do you want to see? You want to see my shit? The shit that I've been working on in secret? And it's like, I'm making this robot thing that looks like the woman I was obsessed with, kind of, So if you look at her face, actually, first let me just stop and show you. If you look at that scenery, and we've got an upside down 5-pointed star. I mean, this, and he's also got that on his door, by the way, on his house door. But it's hard to see in the beginning because it's so tiny. But if you look, what does this mean? What's it supposed to evoke? It's if you look at that, you look at what she's sitting on, and it's like a cross. It's like everything screams occult. It screams playing God. It screams, this is possibly some bad shit. It's dark shit that he's doing. He's doing stuff. He's making somebody. He's made someone, technically. And this is unnatural. It's so unnatural. I mean, machine mensch for a reason, right? It's unnatural. And it's scary because this is a character. This is not exact. It's kind of going against the law of nature and God or whatever. And this guy, he's like, whatever. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna do me. So yeah, if you look, there's supposed to be all these unsettling things about Rotfang. I mean, he's got the weird little tiny manservant. He's got occult symbols and stuff, and just sort of upside. If you look at where Maria's or the machine mensch is sitting, it's kind of like a cross. It's almost like this sort of weird upside down cross, and it's like that. It's just, the imagery is amazing. I love it. Yeah, you do you. Norsha says, you do you, boo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So he's intrigued. He's like, what is this? And it's it's a robot. Or, as Isaac Asimov would say, it's a robot. Because they used to say robot instead of robot. Now we say robot, like robot. But before, in the past, they said robot, like B-I-T. Sounded like that. Which is cool. I mean, pronunciations change. Tomato, tomato, robot, whatevs. Okay, so he's like, yeah, she stands, and it's she starts walking, and it's a very slow process. Why? Because it's just this woman who's wearing this metal suit that looks so uncomfortable. I bet that suit is more uncomfortable than the dress I have on, and it's probably heavy as shit too. Oh, yeah. Array of Emotion says the slow standing up is kind of creepy though. Yes, it's meant to be. Because this is something that is made out of steel, and well, I mean, probably technically aluminium, but whatever. And it's made out of machinery. yet it's moving. It's standing up and moving like a human. And that's creepy. Yeah. That's creepy. And the way... Okay, I want you to, like... I'm going to play this again, and I want you to watch the reactions. Oh, Karl Čapek, I don't know how to say that, was using the word robot in 1920. Head First Only says that. Head First Only always has the facts, all right? There are always facts that I've never heard of, but he will always be the person in the room who's going to win that pub challenge. That, you know, like when you go to a pub and like you're like, oh, they've got a pub quiz going on. You want him on your side because he's gonna come with all the facts, all the extra stuff. He says Trivial Pursuit is my jam. I bet it is. I bet you win every time. I bet you won so many times that like everybody like hated you, and then they're like, I'm never gonna play Trivial Pursuit with you again. No. Noirjar says he's a fact machine. He's not a machine. Okay, so I want you to watch this scene over again. And I want you to pay attention to the reactions, because I think the reactions are amazing, and it's something. And then also it's gonna go into a scene with Frieder, and you saw like a bit of him before, but I'm gonna play that for you. All right. So I want you to look at his reaction, because the reactions are like priceless. Okay, let's start here. I'll just start here. Hyper only says, wasn't the robot costume made out of wood paste or something? Yeah. Didn't have fiberglass back then. No, probably not. So he's like amazed, but also like kind of like looks at it with suspicion. Look at the body language here. This is where Rotwang is confident, okay? This is his territory. And then see her slowly get up. She slowly gets up. And you're like, holy shit. Look, she turns her head and looks at him. Okay. Yeah, it is an amazing shot even now. Oh wait, she's walking forward. And I want you to look at the reactions. And the theme. Did you hear the theme? Thank you. I'm glad you like the choir in this. He's like, he's crazy. It's like, yes. And he's intrigued, but he's also freaked out. Look. If you listen to the organ, that is the marriage song. Why? Because Hel was Yo's wife. So I thought I'd put in a little marriage thing in there. Do you recognize the piano? It was from that scene last week with Frieder going into the machines. So this is Frieder, and then here's another worker. Okay. All right. There you go. Oh, lots of like nice little there's a whole conversation going on in the chat right now over like this sort of plasticine wood stuff, and how like basically how they cast Brigitte Helm and basically had to drape the pieces over the cast and painted it so it looks like varnished, so it looks like metal basically, like plasticine wood. How odd, but I mean how amazing to make such a thing, especially if you think about the time. I mean, again, this is 1920s. This is before they, this is before a lot of things. So how innovative were they? Head First Only says, I love how you ramp up the tempo as all shots of the watches happen. Yes, because that kind of, that tick, 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 tick sound, it's all, everything is supposed to make you think of time. And like it's not just like Yo looking at his watch. It's Frieder working at the machine, and basically he's got a 10-hour shift. So Gunnar recall, it's a 10-hour shift. He's got a 10-hour shift And it's and he's like, oh my god, 10 hours, but it's like 10 hours on his feet. It's hard, and it is like a lot of, it's a lot of work, and no wonder people work till they collapse. No wonder people are suffering. No wonder people are rebelling. And I want you to, so there are certain things. So again, hold on, let me see. So you have only seen, like, as far as like I know, I've only played, like, I've not played a ton of stuff for you. I've only played, like, I don't know, let's see. This is like 9 minutes 30, 9 minutes 45. Yeah. So this is, time move. Norshire says, and time moving forward, you cannot stop it. True. Very true. And so if you look, all these things have happened. You've already had this introduction of Rotwang, the main, like, villainy character. You've already had you understand why there's conflict between them, why there's such animosity. You understand that what he's been working on. So it's introducing the machine mensch, and you also get to see Frieder at the end of his 10-hour shift, and basically it's all these things, and it's like under 10 minutes, and so you have to really think, like, there are a lot. This movie has a lot of information. It is giving you lots of information. And I think part of it is just because it's like it's a great story, but also you don't have those, like, you don't have the nice, like, laid back, like, silent parts where you can just, like, have dialogue and shit, or like some background noise. It's all of these things that you have to stay engaged, or you might miss something important. And it's so easy to miss stuff. It's really easy. You look away, and you kind of know that, like, when you hear that sort of when you hear certain little themes, it's Frieder. Because he's got his whole, like, he's got his whole, like, his whole sound. Hold on, let me go down. I think it's this. Oh no. So basically that was from last week. That was his part of the theme that was playing when Frieder replaces the guy in the machinery. So this is Frieder's machinery sound. This is Frieder in the machinery. It's like sadness, it's sympathy, and hold on. There's a part where he's like, where he sees, there's like a part where, like, something falls out of his hat. Hold on. Where are you? Where are you? Hold up. Shit, I gotta find it. oh, let's see. Guppy Wigber says, so if you had to pick between Blade Runner and Metropolis, it would be Metropolis? As Headfirst Only says, as a film, I'd pick Blade Runner for the design. Much as I loved what Sid Mead did, he couldn't top Metropolis. Moirjar says, this makes me remember why film students are so intense. Headfirst Only says, and I can't believe I just typed that because I'm obsessed with Blade Runner. Hey, it's okay. All right? You can change your mind. You can change your mind. I love, Guppy Wigber says, yes, but I definitely love the atmosphere in Blade Runner. Yes, I did too. I love Blade Runner. I think, like, if you're a cyberpunk fan, if you love the idea of, like, urban sprawl plus neon plus, like, vastly different, like, I don't know, class systems, and just how crazy it is, you're gonna love Blade Runner. Of course. But if you're, like, if you're if you're not into cyberpunk, I guess you won't really like Blade Runner, really. Oh, I'm looking at this. Headfirst only says, I'll take both. Guppy Wigber says, and I especially loved that scene with Rutger Hauer in the end on the roof. Everybody loved that scene. The Rutger Hauer fucking made that shit. He made it. And it was amazing. Yeah, he actually made that speech up, like, you know, fucking how it sounded so like solemn and beautiful, and I was like, you poetic motherfucker. Jesus. Okay. All right. So there's a part here where this character, this kind of slightly shifty looking shifty looking worker character is like, you know, at the end of the shift, she has summoned us again. And it sounds like very mysterious. And you're like, oh, she summoned us? What's going on? And I play something here. I play something for you. Okay. So for those of you who caught my thing last week or the week before, does anybody remember that theme? Because this is a theme that I introduced it early on in the film, and it's a theme that comes back a lot. And when I say like I bring back themes, I mean I bring them back not just as like they're like, you know, the original instruments they were played with, but in other ways. So like this is like a little synthy kind of bell sound, like a okay. So basically there's a big conversation in my chat thing, and they're like, I'm obsessed with Rutger Hauer, and I'm like, I get you. And Headfirst only says, I need to watch Legend of the Holy Drinker. Legend of the Holy Drinker? What is that? Also, did everyone have a big crush on Rutger Hauer when Blade Runner came out? Were they like, oh, you know what? Fuck Harrison Ford, you know? Fuck Harrison Ford. We just want Rutger Hauer. We want that, you know, that super platinum like hair. Yeah. I think so. I think they're just like, oh, we love those super blondes. I don't know. So anyway, this is a theme for Maria. So it's like, spoiler alert, Maria is going to come back. Don't worry. So it says at the end of this shift, she has summoned us again. So you know that Maria is summoning these people. Why? We don't know yet. Okay? But you know that first, like, that our boy is like possibly gonna go to this little like jamboree. All right. Okay. Oh, Guppy Wigber says, although I have to admit I am a little disappointed in the anti-feminist scene with Rachel and Deckard. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, we can talk about this for a second. Yeah. I feel like Harrison Ford does this in like a lot of his movies, where he's like this kind of, he's like a hero, but he's like really rough, and he's like, you know, he's like, he knows better, and he knows you know, it's like, and he's actually quite like physically quite rough, and also like a bit standoffish, and I don't know if this is like attractive to people. To me, it's just like, oh my god, what a douchebag. But this is like, I feel like he's like this way in so many films. Like Harrison Ford is like this. He's like not. He's not an emotionally available or gentle person. There. Okay, Headfirst only says Holy Drinker is a 1988 film with Rutger in the title role. Won a Golden Lion. Huh. I didn't see that. Hey, wasn't he in like Lady Hawk or something like that with Michelle Pfeiffer? Am I remembering wrong? If somebody tells me, like, I'm gonna, yeah. Okay. Guppy Wigber says he pushed her against the wall and locked the door. Not very subtle. No, that's not subtle. Actually, that's like a little scary. It's like somebody getting a little forceful here. Sean Solo says, how dare these people call and make me do work? Don't they know I'm trying to watch your stream? I don't know. You can tell them to fuck off. No, just kidding. No, don't tell them to fuck off. Please, God. Don't. Because I want you to keep your job. So you can afford to live and eat pizza. Sean Solo. Don't tell them. Just be like, oh yeah, just okay, yeah, sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't I didn't see your message right away. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, my question about Ladyhawk was Rutger Hauer and Ladyhawk, and my chat tells me, yes. Oh, Array of Emotion says there's a scene in Star Wars where Han basically forces himself on Leia. Yeah, Harrison Ford. Why so problematic? Huh? Why a little so rough? You don't have to be that rough. Man. Sean Solo says, you make good points. Yes, I do, because I want you to live. I want you to be able to live. And I care about that because it's like, look, haven't you already been through enough shit? You this is the last thing you need to lose a job, right? Am I right? Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, so you see that, like, all right, I'm gonna kind of try to go back to this. Anyway, what is it? Okay, so he's like, oh no, will this 10 hours never end? And he's like, ah. Okay, so we know he's working hard. We know that, like, that Jo Friederson is bringing him. He's like, I brought you the stupid map that I got, because do you remember in the other scenes, the scenes from last week during, like, what I like to call the gangsta scene? It's right after that. It was the Grot, the one of the kind of like workers, came and he brought like some plans that they found to like sabotage shit, and like, it was just like, it was like stuff to basically, like, it was stuff that he found with for months now we have been finding these plans in my workers' clothes. What do they mean? So yeah, they're like, what is this? What's this stuff that we're finding? And they figure out that it's a map. And you can tell, like, all these little, the papers and stuff, it's like, what is this? It's like a map somewhere. And you get to see that there's a map. She has summoned us. So there's something going on. And look, he's got the little, what is that, a compass thing? It's like, he's like trying to figure out, Rotwang is trying to figure out, like, what's happening. Okay, in my chat, this is like, there's some stuff happening. Okay. So Noirja says, true that, she kicked ass. I think she's talking about Leia. Princess Leia. Plus there was the Matrix. With a totally hot, cool chick. Okay. Headfirst Only says, had to look up who the old guy was in Ladyhawk. It was Leo McKern, who I don't know. With your respect, he was number 2 in The Prisoner and Rumpel of the Bailey. Oh, in The Prisoner, that really cool series with a weird balloon bubble thing. That was neat. Also, Headfirst Only says, I want that neon, whatever it is. Yeah, only Rotfang has that, because Rotfang is the one he is like the most, I guess he embraces the technology the most, I think, and uses it in his own, like, for his own gain. I mean, obviously, like, a lot of people do that, but you get to see, like, Rotfang has all the cool toys in his, like, little, like, workshop, right? Okay. So he's finding out, there's a map, and you can see there's a compass. There's a compass, and it's like, he's like, there's a map, and where is this map? If we aligned it against a real map, where would this be? situationally, it's here, and he's finding it. He's pinpointing it because Yo Friederson really needed this guy's help because he's like the smartest guy in the city, but he's also the craziest, probably. So he's just like, he's watching him. Okay. All right. Look, he's got his watch. He's got a fabulous watch, by the way. But notice it goes till 12. But like in like a lot of the clock shots that you see in this film, it goes to 10. So it's really strange. It's like his watch goes to 12, but in a lot of the shots before that, it's like the clock sort of goes only to 10. It's kind of odd, but I guess that's because they couldn't get a 1 to 10 watch. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out because I'm kind of insane, and this is what insane people do. They point at watches and shit. I don't know. So see? All right. See this one? Hi. Look. All right. So there's like a little like a dial. If you see it says 1 to 24. So I'm guessing that this is just the hours of the day. And this is basically, I think it's to keep track. This 1 to 10 is to show the shifts, the beginning and ending of shifts. So that's my guess. If you have a better guess, yeah. Array of Emotion says, ran out of budget to have a custom-made 10-hour face. Maybe. Who knows? But my guess is that this is the clock. The big clock is representative of the work clock. And that the small clock is representative of actual time. The time as far as like the 24-hour day. Okay? This is, again, just a guess. Yeah. Guppy Wigber says, and that is why Yo doesn't have one, because he is not a worker. Exactly. Well, he doesn't have a 1 to 10 watch, because he doesn't work 10-hour shifts. I mean, you see this guy. He doesn't have to, because he's like always a big man in charge. He's the boss bitch. He doesn't need to he only needs to look at 1 through 12. That's it. That's all that matters to him. 1 to 10, it's like, that's for laborers. Fuck those guys, right? So anyway, all right. So we get to the part. So he's just like having a hard time, and I've always I remember like looking at this when I was watching this a little bit when I was younger, and just seeing him like having to point to like take the dials and like the little like hands and bring them to like the different lights that light up and stuff. This, I don't know if I'd want this job. Like, this job is like, I mean, it's steamy. I use a lot of the same sort of synthy sounds, so you hear that sort of that steam sound. The I use a lot of the same sounds because you need to feel how stuffy that atmosphere is. You need to feel it choking you. It needs to choke you a little, like, and you need to just. There's also like a heartbeat that goes through there, so it's like, hold on. And one of the things that I put here is this. Now that sound is, it is, Norshay says, it is the suck job. It is a suck job. I bet it sucks more than Sean Solo's job. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Okay, yeah. So that really low, like, that also was at the beginning of the film. It was also when the shifts ended. So every time a shift ends or begins, you get this low groan, and the low groan is like. It's supposed to feel like oppressive, like you are a cog in the machine and it's terrible and you are being oppressed. Okay, so Sean Solovit says, my job isn't bad, I just don't want to be doing it because you're lazy. Shush. Just take the job, be glad, and don't be lazy. No, you can be a little lazy. I mean, you are working from home, right? You're working from home, right? I think so. Okay. Anyway, here you go. What time is it? It's 10:35. It's only 10:35. Good lord. Okay. All right. I'll keep going. Do you guys want to keep watching? Do you want more stuff? Because it gets really fucking good. I swear to God, it gets so good. Because I'm so proud of this part that's coming up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will play it for you, of course. So I just hit the mic. We see the shift ended. He's like, oh no, and you see all the workers, like, you know, they're all coming out and they're all tired, and you know that there's more stuff. You know that they have to like meet up in, you know, at this place in like 2 hours or something. And so, all right, I'll just start at the end. There. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts actually, because it's like, um, so you see like who that was. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I have to catch up on this chat thing. Okay. So first only says, and of course he has a dungeon. It's not really a like a dungeon. Not like a fun dungeon. No, it's I think it's just like he's got he's got like the access to the underground labyrinth. He's basically he's that guy. He's that guy who probably like, yeah, actually, I bet he does have a dungeon, all right? Like a legit like scary one. Yeah. That's where he like throws all his like all his failed experiments. It's like, let me just put it in the dungeon. All right. Okay. Noirshire says, or else do you keep monsters and heinous creations? I guess you either keep them there or you kill them. And then you yeah. I was gonna say recycle the material, but I mean, yeah, maybe. Head First Only says that is such a trippy set design. Yes, it is. The set design. So basically, we're in Rotfang's office, and he's like, all these workers you see, they're going down there, and because there's this map. There's this thing. He's like, how do I get here? You can tell it's a map, all right? It's pretty obvious that it's a map. It's got like the north, south, east, and west, or ost, west kind of thing, whatever. And it's supposed to lead somewhere, and it's tiny. It was folded up. It's like, okay. So let's see. What is it? Wonky crosses, altar thing. Yeah. It looks pretty wonky. It's crazy looking. So he's like, yeah, come with me. I have like this spiral staircase. We go down, and then we just like, he's like, yeah, keep going. Grab your flashlight. Grab your big flashlight, because we're gonna go bring that mag light. All right. He's like, okay. Bring that torch. Taking it down. He's like, you go first. You go first. Yeah, you. Yeah, that way. And you can see it's like, part of it, I think, is just because Rodfang's kind of like, he's a suspicious character. He's one who does not want to be like ever in like the vulnerable spot, I love this. Hold on, there's this whole chat thing. It's like the way Norsha says, the way that made it fill the space, it's awesome. Thank you. Copy Wigber says, I love the lighting in this film so much too, especially made this scene with Maria so cool. Yes, I concur. Array of Emotion says, kind of makes sense though, since it said his house was forgotten by centuries. Yes, it was. Because it's like nobody like paid attention to the old fucking house, to the older man who was living in the house, the crazy guy. They just sort of like leave him alone. Guppy Wigber says, because what could go wrong? I don't know. So Rotfang makes Yo go first. And I think that's quite telling of the kind of character he is. It's not like, oh, ladies first. It's not like that. It's more like, you go first, because like it's like Showgirls, and we don't want to have, do you want to be the person who does the pushing or is getting pushed? I always feel like it. I don't know why it reminds me of like Showgirls. I guess because there's like a stare issue, and it's like, oh no, my leg! I can't dance in the sexy half nude show now. No. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So he's like, yeah, you. So goes, and then you see the workers. They go down, and of course you see Rotfang and Yo, and they're also heading down somewhere. Guppy Wigber says it's a dog eat dog world. Oh god, that's so depressing. I know it kind of is, but I kind of don't. I also want to believe that, maybe people are not going to be dicks, and that at some point we will not have, it won't be like that. I don't know. I'm kind of optimistic, but maybe I'm too hopeful for the human race. All right, so they're going down, and of course, like, you see the workers going down, and I want you to see this little bit. So you see, here's Frieder. All right, you see Frieder, and Frieder's like, oh, the reason why it's like you're supposed to see Frieder. He's like, he stumbles out of the way, and he doesn't look. You don't see him by profile. You actually get to get a good look at his face, and even though he's dressed like all the workers, he kind of stumbled. So it's supposed to make you pay attention. And then it comes to here. All these workers are gathering, but it's like, and this is someone he's not expecting to see, and it's her. And yeah, this is a trippy ass place. There are like these little doors. I feel like I don't know. It's kind of cool. Like where do these little holes and tunnels lead to? I don't know. But it's very like, this is such a religious moment. It's like we have all the crosses, and it's like, and all the people who are kneeling, they take their hat off in reverence, respect. And you see Frieder, who was like he was looking for her, and somehow, and looking for her, sort of, it began that journey where he was like, oh my gosh, these workers are having a hard ass time. Oh my god, these people are being like oppressed. Oh my god, like what's like, look at the way like my dad treats people. And this is his whole, I feel like he's, before he met Maria, it was like he was living in his little fantasy land of fun, sexy times in the garden, where he's like chasing around ladies and kissing hot, sexy pirate ladies. And this set him on a path. It's like, has anyone seen like Cloud Atlas? The crosses, Norshar says, the crosses are very imposing. This scene always makes me sneer a little. Yeah, it's a pretty hardcore. Like, just in case you didn't get the subtlety of the bajillion crosses. yeah. It's not subtle. And like, if you've ever seen Cloud Atlas, then you know that like one character sort of sparks a sort of a change in or rather a growth of consciousness or conscience or something. It sparks something. It is like the catalyst for a different way of thinking. And I think for him, it was that whole scene where he first meets Maria is like, that's where he's just like, it changes his whole life in that moment, because now it's like he finally not even met her, but found a woman with just so much integrity and believing in something and pushing this kind of the set ways and challenging his beliefs. And it's like that's stuck with him, and it's his kind of little coming of age story, I guess, like where he becomes a man. So yeah, now he worked a 10-hour shift, so now he feels like he's like, I worked one 10-hour shift, so I'm so like one of you guys, right? Please, like, come on. But yeah, and so he's notice hand on the heart. He always does the hand on the heart thing. I don't know. He's wearing as much makeup as I am, by the way. And he's like, oh my god. And it's like, okay. And he found her. And even, it's like he wasn't even looking for her at this point, because he had just gotten off that shift, and he's like, I'm super tired, and I just walked down these fucking caverns and fucking found this woman. And it's like here, there she is. Yo, what up? Sus toxic kid. All right. So he takes his hat off in reverence. So like, I don't know if any of you are like familiar with like religious stuff, but like if you go into a church, for example, if you're a man, at least the way I grew up when I grew up really strictly Catholic, and it was I didn't like it. How are you? Sus Toxic Kid says, how are you? I'm new here. I'm okay. I'm alive. I am attempting to explain this silent film stuff and why I did stuff why I composed stuff a certain way. And I'm also trying to keep up with the chat thing because there's a whole like conversation you guys are having, and I'm sorry. I'm not as part of it. I'm trying to just sort of go back and forth and trying not to lose my train of thought because I'm losing it. So, yeah, that's how I'm doing. How are you doing? How's everybody? How are you guys doing, by the way? You guys okay? Shit, I'm gonna see what time it is. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so basically, you see him. It's Frieder. He sees Maria. He finally finds her. He's like, that's where you've been. I've been looking for you. And he's gone through pains to find... He's gone through so much crap. And you kind of forget that he was still looking for her. Because I think that at some point, he was like, I totally forgot about her. And I wanted to... He just decided to work instead and be like, kind of... I don't know. He was like one of us, And of course, he sees her. All right. So there are a few things I want to point out musically, because there's if you did listen to before to the part with Maria's theme, it's like she has a very specific theme, and it's this. Sus Toxic Kid says, I'm doing good. I'm making a lo-fi beat right now. Nice. But I'm taking a break now to watch streamers. Cool. I hope you have a good break. I hope your beat's going well. Because, hey, when you're in the flow, it's great. When you're not in flow, it feels like torture. Anyway, so you hear Maria's theme. Maria's theme is it's almost like 3/4. No, wait, it's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And so when I wanted to introduce her like that kind of that sort of 3/4 kind of feeling within the 4/4 sound. And that's why I put this harp. There's a harp sound, and I put this in there because I thought it was a good way to sort of kind of train your ears to accept a 3/4 sort of sound. So here, I'm going to play this for you again, okay? And I want you to listen for it. There's hold on. Come on. So you can hear there's that industrial beat I put before. It's that that was there in the beginning when you saw the workers. It comes up every time you think of workers generally. Okay. So he's like, it's the catacombs. I guess that's what all the little tunnel doors were. They're just graves. So I'm using timpanis, a lot of the same instruments. Those high stick sounds. So this is, yeah. Yes, it is. Sus Toxic Kids asking, is that a classic movie? Yes, it is. It's from 1927. It's a silent movie called Metropolis. So I'm rescoring it for fun. But I'm updating it in a way. So you hear that? Ding, 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 ding. Dun, 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 dun. So you hear that? That 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, yeah, it was before you were born. I'll be amazed if anybody here was born before 1927. Like, I'd be amazed if anybody was watching. So, you hear that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and what that's doing is it's training you without you knowing. It's training you to accept a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, a 3, 4 kind of pattern. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sean Solo Beat says, I don't think Beaker is in here. No, he's having festivities right now, probably. So, look, use of organ. So I'm using the organ because why? Church sound, okay? Church sound, choir, harp, that's all just religious sounding. And that's what makes you accept this. And this is Maria's theme. Only before, you heard it only as like a piano before. Oh, thank you. Oh, so like, of course, he's like, oh, I finally found you. And look, he's kneeling. He's kneeling because in great reverence to her. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now you understand, like, if you don't have this part, it's not training your ears. So when I say it's training your ears, you're expecting a 3-4. Thank you. Sus Toxic Kid says, holy moly, that's good. Thank you. Guppy Wigber says, yeah, and I love how you build it up too. Very subtle. Thank you. Array of Motion says, it's the biblical imagery. It is. And Head First Only says, love the choral work on this. Thank you. Guppy Wigber says, maybe we should start a Meru fan club. Meru, by the way, that's my name in the William Gibson board. So that's how they know me. Okay. I'll just call you Toxic. Okay. Says Toxic Kid says, you can call me Toxic. I will. So what I'm doing with this is I found that when I didn't have this bit, when she came up, when her theme came on again, when you see the character of Maria, it sounds like you need something. Like, it sounded like it was a little abrupt. And what I can do is I can play this bit for you. I can play maybe like without this little thing to train you, because now now what you're hearing right now is like 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, start the organs again. So normally this would have had that ding, 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 ding. Okay. But now I took it out, or I turned it off. And like, there. Okay. So you hear that it starts to go da na 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 na. So it feels like it doesn't quite match up with the sort of like the kind of pattern that you heard from the beginning. And so because I included this, now you accept the 3/4 kind of sound mixed with the 4/4 sound, because their themes, like Maria's theme, kind of is like, it's almost like 3/4 sounding, but I made her theme and Frieder's theme to match up together in a way, but like hers is a little airier, hers is lighter, and his is not. His is pretty like yeah, his is pretty standard, I think. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So, I don't know, do you guys, let's see. It is 11:05 over here. Do you want me to play the next part for you, or do you want to stop? Or do you have any questions? I also, there's a fantastic chat happening right now about like classic horror films. And Guppy Wigber says, I loved Psycho, The Birds, and The Shining. I love Shining. The Shining is like pretty much, that's my, yeah, I love it. I love The Shining. And there's Kubrick. He was an asshole, but he was a genius. Like an asshole genius. Aren't they always like assholes though? I swear to God. Yeah. Somebody, Area of Emotions mentioned Rosemary's Baby. Okay, Rosemary's Baby is like, man, that fucked me up. Don't watch it if like, it just, watch it, but then kind of like, I know it sort of like looks kind of like, oh, it's just, you know, these characters and oh, you know, she's got a cute haircut. Oh, it's just an apartment. But oh Lord. Oh my God. Everybody's talking about movies. All right. Okay. So anyway, do you want me to keep going, or would you like me to end this now and then I can do the, I don't know. Do you want me to, I don't know how long you guys want to do this. Sean Solovit says keep going. Okay. So we got 1 vote for keep going. Oh, I like the, oh, Noirshire says like The Thing. Classic BW. Black and white meets. Okay. All right. I'll do one last section, and I'll do one last section so you can see where this leads to, because basically it's like now we know that she's hold on. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a lovely conversation going. Champs-Élysées says, keep going forever. That's cute. I don't have enough material for forever. I only have enough material for the end of some of these scenes. So okay. All right. So I'm gonna go. I won't pause after this scene. I'm just gonna let it keep going until the end of the last scene. So what I do want to tell you is that one of the things I like to do is merge genres. And Guppy Wigber says, has anyone seen Midsommar? Oh my god, man, that messed me up, but I was kind of expecting it, so it's okay. So with this, it will you've got like different instruments. You've got, synths. We've got lots of you've got a lot of like orchestral bits, like you've got woodwinds, you've got piano, you've got a lot of like strings. I'm like all about them strings. And so far it's like you hear there's almost like a, when there's a very like orchestral, a very like organic, very traditional sounding section, after that usually I will find a way to insert some synthetic sounds, some digital sounds, like synths, things that are like are more what we would think of in the vein of futuristic, So what I do is like I try to make sure that I balance both things so that this movie, so it doesn't get stale, and also because I just really want to make this very multi-genre, and I mean, right from the beginning, I mean, you got that sort of like really dark, you got really kind of industrial, then you've got the traditional orchestral stuff, you've got you've got hip hop in there, you've got like drum and bass and dubstep. So I try to mix all these genres together because I think that certain genres fit certain scenes, and it's not just about like the use of instruments, it's also how do audiences now, what are they expecting, how do they feel, what are the things that make them feel a certain way. So it's like probably like obviously in the past certain sounds may have been like more futuristic sounding to them, but for us, our expectation of what future sounds like, of what science fiction sounds like, is different. Okay, and sometimes you'll see like for example, when you watch certain movies like Interstellar, normally you would expect like a synthy kind of sound, but you got a lot of like organs. All right, you got a lot of organs, you got a lot of like very sort of religious sounding things, and organs evoke that. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that I get like all the sounds in here so that you feel like, you've got your organic sounds and then you've got your synth sounds, and it's like taking a lot of what people do, what people make now, like I played the original soundtrack for this one that somebody had made, and it was all like, it was mostly really digital sounding things. It was all like synths, and it's what, like what we expect futuristic things to sound like. But I think but you look at this movie and you look at the imagery, the style, it's obviously old, it's obviously like from the past, it's black and white, and so you're kind of expecting sort of something from the past, you're expecting some sounds from the past. But if you take the sounds from the past, like orchestral, organic sounds, and then you mix them with what we have now, what's available to us now. You can update it and mix it together, and so it will create a different viewing experience for the person who's watching this. And that's what I'm trying to do. And you guys are like having this huge conversation in my chat. Oh, Lost Highway. Yeah, I love that movie. I have that soundtrack somewhere. And Patricia Arquette was absolutely amazing. And my God, like, she looked amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Hey, wasn't that the soundtrack with Perfect Drug from 9 Inch Nails? Because that was my jam. I wanted to be like Trent Reznor. Yeah. Array of Emotion says yes! And I'm like, I want to be Trent Reznor. Yeah, I'd like to be Trent Reznor. Can I be Trent Reznor? Somebody let me be Trent Reznor. Okay. All right. Anyway. He scores too. Oh yeah, and Bowie. I'm afraid of Americans. Is that the one? Oh no, I'm deranged. That's right. He goes, I'm deranged. I was like, yeah, that's right. He sounds amazing. Okay. And all right. So I'm gonna play the last section for tonight, and I will. So now we know. Frieder's there. He sees her. And it's like, yay! He sees her again, and you know that's Rotfang, remember the villain, and Jo Friedersen, and he's also there, and they're like watching, and they're watching this shit. They're like peeping. They're like, what is this about? Okay. So here. Happy Wigber says bye. I'm almost done, don't worry. Okay, all right. So that was basically, that's where you finally, she was telling the story of the Tower of Babel, and then you got to finally see it. And yeah, I am, if you're wondering like why am I using like choir stuff in this? Well, if you listen to like the man slave sound, it's like oh we oh, it's like what you would hear like kind of for like oppressed people, like slaves and stuff. That's the kind of sound. And also there was something I mentioned in the beginning, like when I first started streaming about this. It was that everything, I tried to add a human voice somewhere, human voices in places. And the reason why I do that is because this is a silent movie and you're sort of expecting dialogue, but you're not getting it. And so our brains are expecting some kind of like human voice. We're expecting like something, like somebody to say something or say some kind of dialogue, but we can't because this is a silent film. So in order to kind of fill that need, that's why, or rather, I don't know, that yeah. Oh, Noirshire says, I love that you had that oppression in the oppression background. Yes. Yeah, and in order to feel that desire for that human voice, I put my voice in there. I put choir voices in there, and usually I try to do a mix of my voice and the choir, because you have to, using only choirs, it's like they're good samples, they're really good, and that's a really good pack that I have, but it doesn't have the same sort of intimacy as it's Norshara says, sorry, I don't know the music proper words. Do you think I know them? I don't. No, I'm not educated in this. I'm just making it up as I go. Yeah, and so we're expecting human voices, and if you only use choir packs and stuff, it won't be enough. You need to put in another voice, one more, and it has to be like your voice or somebody else's voice, but it has to be like a real person, recording themselves, because you already can suss out that organic quality to that voice, and it's not the same. It's you have to, I feel like you have to insert something that's very real, and also that can sort of, I don't know, that doesn't sound like it's programmed. It's that organic that we need, that we're expecting from characters' mouths, and they're not speaking. So this is why, I stick that in there. I put choir in there later on. I sing. There's more stuff where I sing, because I like to do a voice for it's I call it the kind of like, it's the love lust voice. So there's a lust voice I use, which is like, it's a little sexier sounding, and then the love one is a bit higher, and it's like a little sweeter. And so I'm changing like the tones of my voice to suit the emotion of the scene. But, and when you hear my voice, it's a real person. This is not something that's programmed. It's not something that's been like overly processed. This is a real person doing this. And I think one way to, again, like get people to stay engaged with this film is to give them the human dialogue. But because it's not titles, because it's not actual written dialogue, the human dialogue must be made in a way that, I don't know, that is easy to understand, and it's very like, and emotes a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Okay, so I think I will end it for tonight. I hope that you guys have been having a good time. It looks like you've been quite busy in the chat, and I'm glad for that because I always love reading this shit. Thank you. Headfirst only said that was fun. Thank you. I don't know how much fun it was because of me, but certainly there are a bunch of people in the chat who are like fantastic, and they're just like giving it. I was just like the noise in the background. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great time, and I hope I explained this well enough. Honestly, I don't know if I'm explaining this well enough, but thank you for even like listening, because yeah, this is still like a work in progress, but there are certain sections that I've already like sort of frozen so that I don't mess with it too much. Headfirst only says, really enjoying your music. Thank you. You need to do a show about making your choral vocals. Okay. So yeah. Oh god. Oh, Norshar says, you have made dialysis speed by. Thank you. No, thank you. Because you're paying attention, you're saying hi to me, and it's like, hey, this is great. You get to like wigber out. This is great. I am down for this. I'm here for it. If you have any questions or any suggestions, if you anything, like just send me a message, like just send me a message, be like, hey, blah 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 blah. So I do this like every Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. CET. Like I'm always doing this on Wednesday. Why? I don't know. Just Wednesday seems like a good day. And I'll be working on this like on and off. I've got some stuff. I'm actually performing for a little virtual con on the 25th. And it's going to be, I think, around like 7:30/8:00 p.m. My CET. And I'll be doing a live set. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But it's on the 25th, so I'll give you another heads up next week. For this, I guess, if you haven't followed me, just follow me. Or subscribe if you see this on YouTube. I don't know. I don't really know how many followers I have. I'm not really. I just want to make fun stuff and share it with you so that maybe, I don't know, maybe you can get like a peek inside this like insane like mind I have. Anyway, have a nice rest of the week. Thanks for hanging out. I will share more of this stuff because I do have a bit more, and it gets interesting. Yes, it does. But it's like, again, it's once I run out of like stuff, I will be like, okay, I can't do Metropolis next time because I'm still working on it. So yeah, this looks like it's really fast. It is really fast time wise. It is, but it actually takes a long time to make. So I've just shown you like months of work in like several hours. So I'm gonna try to, I don't know, I'll do my best to work on this, and yeah, and go over stuff with you. And I hope you learned something. And if you didn't, hey, it's okay. At least you're hanging out. All right. So I'll catch you next week. And I hope you guys stay safe and healthy, and don't be a dick to anybody, because that's the last thing we need right now. Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Yeah, and have a good night. I will see you later.